Hi, welcome to Eddie's Research. Research in the news, is it true or false? This is an article that I've created, and as usual I'm creating a video which is basically the same as the article but in picture form. You can view this on my website, which obviously I'm going to link it into the video. This is a side project I've been looking at. Not a particular news story, but one that may develop over time. Now, as usual, I don't like Wikipedia, for reasons but known that we've all liked or mentioned before, but I'm going to quote them to begin with, even though I don't trust them. So basically, the world has now, more or less, patched all the Intel and AMD computer systems, including other types of machines against Spectre. This was a while ago. I think people probably will remember this. So this is Microsoft, and this is protecting your Windows devices against Spectre and Meltdown. So this was the speculative execution side channel attacks, and it was available on most computers. You may remember this. But was there a reason behind this? And I don't mean some kid in his bedroom wanting to use all the PCs on the web to break into the CIA, etc. Firstly, there are the Russian attacks, which a lot of people feel are false flags. But like I said before, that's not the purpose of my site, but I may find things that are related and maybe useful for other people to look at. The main thing in the news for the past years of 2017 onwards, especially since Donald Trump took office, is that Russia will attack us. Not boots on the ground, etc., but electronically and cyber. Yes, there was the Salisbury attack, but I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at something that may happen in the future. Take Kaspersky. The antivirus that we've all used before is deemed to be spying on the US, so they have banned it from government computers. Facebook is also banning it from all their suggestions. Now, take all the news articles on mainstream media, and over time, if you hear something and read about it for so long, you'll start to believe it. It's just basic psychology. So we've been told that they will attack, and in some of the latest they say that thousands and thousands and thousands will die. But not by boots on the ground, but by damaging the infrastructure. Just think of the film Die Hard 4, and in it they create a fire sale. It's basically the same thing. I wonder if that film or similar will be shown a few months before the actual event starts. My theory then goes to the latest patches. Spectre was observed a few years back, but not patched. Why? Well, back then, not everyone had computers. The internet wasn't like it is now. It would have been pointless. But not in the modern times of we all need to be online no matter what. So here we are in Wikipedia, my favourite, non-favourite encyclopedia website, where anybody and everybody can edit it no matter what they want. So of course it must be 100% true because Joe Blogs down the street edited it. So this is the article about Spectre. So here it is, where immediate jihad's content. It's basically what people may remember. Intel reported that its CPUs had to be protected against Spectre related meltdowns. Now, here's an interesting little quote, well, not a quote, but a little bit. Spectre proper was discovered independently by Jan Horn from Google's Project Zero and Paul Kocher in collaboration with Daniel Genkin, Mike Hamburg, Mortz Lib, and Yuval Yaron. Now, it's strange that it's Google once again. Google. That it rears its ugly head. And remember, even those that were in 2014, Russian wasn't on the radar back then, or in the news, or in people's subconscious. So that's why it never came to fruition, in my eyes. It's just my theory, just my opinion. So, look to this scenario. In a year or so, when the seeds are sown in people's minds, so everybody knows that Russia's going to attack, Russia's going to attack, Russia's going to attack, Russia, All the computer systems are patched. Remember, some are corporate, so need to be tested on certain systems, so it's not like the home computers. Then all of a sudden, an attack is made on the computers in the UK. Not your home ones, no. But any system that's in hospitals, nuclear power stations, water treatment plants, etc. Those going down will cause the massive deaths. And who will everyone think has caused it? Well, of course, Russia. Now, the Google issue was apparently just recently, but according to Wiki, the use of cryptanalysis on chipsets was discovered as far back as 2002. Now, of course, the details that have emerged may have been found earlier, but the powers that be won't say that. So this is the exploit. First, it shows that the branch prediction logic in modern processors can be trained to reliably hit or miss based on the internal workings of a malicious program. It then goes on to show that the subsequent difference between cache hits, however you want to say it, and misses can be reliably timed so that what should have been a simple non-function difference can in fact be subverted in the covert channel which extracts information from unrelated processes in their workings. Thirdly, the paper synthesizes the results with the return-oriented programming exploits and other principles with a similar example program and a JavaScript snippet run under a sandboxing browser. In both cases, the entire address space of the victim process, the contents of a running program, is shown to be readable by simply exploiting speculative execution of conditional branches in code generated by a stock compiler or the JavaScript machinery present in an existing browser. The basic idea is to search existing code for places where speculation touches upon otherwise inaccessible data, manipulate the processor into a state where speculative execution has to touch that data, and then time the side effect of that processor being faster. If it's by now prepared prefetch machinery indeed did load a cache line. And finally, the paper concludes by generalizing the attack to any non-functional state of the victim process. It briefly discusses even such highly non-obvious non-functional effects on the bus arbitrarily. And that's quite in depth, as you can as you can hear, or you can read here something. Now, strange enough, the first part about this is about a malicious program being used. Now, WikiLeaks, which is definitely in the news lately due to Assange and stuff, had released loads of tools and exploits, etc., that were stolen, apparently, from the NSA and CIA. Strangely enough, one of those tools was called Umbrage. So here it is, WikiLeaks. Now, some people might say, well, they're against things. Some people might say, well, they're just like a Dropbox, kind of like Dropbox, like a news outlet or something like that. Whatever you think about them, for this purpose, I'm not going into the depths of politics or anything like that. I'm just looking at what they have, like anything. It's on the web. It's free. You can go in. You can look. If you don't want to look at it, don't read it. Simple as that. So here we are. It's the CIA hacking tools revealed. And you scroll down, and we hit Umbrage. So this is Umbrage. The CIA's handcrafted hacking techniques pose a problem for the agency. Each technique has created forms of fingerprint that can be used by forensic investigators to attribute multiple different attacks to the same entity. This is analogous to finding the same distinctive knife wound on multiple separate murder victims. The unique wounding style creates suspicion that a single murderer is responsible. As soon as one murder in the set is solved, then the others also find attribution. So the Umbrage group collects and maintains this library of attack techniques stolen from malware produced in other states, including the Russian Federation. With Umbrage and related projects, the CIA can not only increase its total number of attacks, but also misdirect attribution by leaving behind their fingerprints of the groups the attack techniques were stolen from, and there's the thing. So let's actually look at some of the wordings here. Each technique creates a fingerprint. That can be attributed to the same entity. They have a collection library stolen even from Russia. Fine, so far. But wait, what's this? This bit here. They can misdirect attribution by leaving behind the fingerprints of the groups that attack techniques were stolen from. What that means is they can run something and make out it's coming from someone else. So could the North Korea is behind the hacks be false, and could the Russian attack that hasn't actually happened yet be the same? Now I actually looked at some tools on the wiki, and my gut feeling is they were released for a reason, not for what people probably think they're released for, but that's another story and another chapter. So with this in mind, they have released Umbrage at the back of 2017, and the exploit was apparently found in June 2017. So let's have a look at some of the files that Umbrage users are listed. So here we are. Now you can have a look at this yourself, but I've picked out the ones that are possibly related to the article. So here we are. There they all are. There's quite a lot. Then obviously there's people doing some editing and stuff. So you can look at that JAR's content. So let's have a look and see what we can find. So the first one up is webcam capture. So the common ways to implement webcam capture on Windows systems, and it uses dark comic mat. Direct show to achieve webcam. In other words, basically you can just watch somebody on their webcam. We've all heard about stuff like this. Now actually the dark comic mat was actually used in the Syrian war, and as you may know, Russia is Syria's ally. It since had its download links removed, but obviously not before the CIA grabbed it. Now this one's interesting as links back to Kaspersky. Kaspersky's sandbox environment has been known to have gaps in what it emulates when examining a process. One such example was found when testing a technique found in known malware. So, where does it say? While testing this technique's effectiveness, it was found that the technique was effective against Kaspersky's scanner when the executable was placed in the target system. And it fails to flag the file as malicious. You can look at this if you want to understand programming. So for this malware, it targets Kaspersky, and it fails to be flagged as malicious. Happens with a lot of antivirus programs when malware comes out. So could this be why they say not to use it? Not sure. Maybe they said it was spying as they didn't want the average user to see that the main reason was a malware that the CIA has that can attack easily, or they can also crash the sandbox that it uses. So it looks like the actual source of the code is called the Nuclear Exploit Pack. Let's find that there so I can just prove to you what I was talking about. Where's it gone? There, sorry about that. The API memcpy is the Nuclear Exploit Pack, and that's what we were just looking at a second ago. There. So, this is all about it. This is some checkpoint. You can read this. It tells you all about it. It's a legit website, by the way. It's nothing dodgy. It's interesting to see some links and stuff. Nuclear's infrastructure is not the work of a lone wolf. According to our findings, the leading developer is located in Russia. So there's the Russian link. Well, one of them anyway. And the majority of the attacks were in the US. Now, were some of them using Umbrage, or was that just a coincidence? So here's another one. It's Kaspersky heap grd dll inject. There you are. But I could spend years sifting through the trove of documents, etc. that they have here. It's just interesting that one of the tools that was released happened to have signatures in that can show an exploit or hack can be attributed to another country of the CIA choosing. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed reading this article or watching this article, obviously. Computers, especially the malware hacking side, is an area that many don't know fully about. Heard of, yes, but not researched. As you've just seen, it's a very complicated area of computers if you want to delve deeper. All my links are all here in the top, as you've seen in the video. They're also on my website if you want to actually read them. They have the links, you can click on the links to type them out. But like I say, they're all here, they're all websites, they're all available on the internet, no matter where you go, including this one. This is Checkpoint. It has some interesting stuff, as you can see. It tells you all about it if you really want to know what this does. You don't really. Anyway, thank you for watching this. Please leave a comment, and hopefully this is of interest for some people. Okay, thank you and goodbye.